is the
Into
magic
that music. Crystal, I
behind
like that
music?
groove.
All right, I'm so glad you're enjoying it. So, parents, what is the magic behind music? How can music positively impact your child's life? Well, we're going to talk about that today in another episode of Thriving Special Families. And we have the honor of having a special guest today, John Vento. Hi, John.
Hey, Crystal, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm so glad you appreciated my music coming from a
Yeah,
musician. That means a lot.
I did.
Yeah. So, families, we again welcome you. If you are engaging in the podcast, then welcome again to another episode. If you're watching us live, then welcome as well. Please feel free to add your questions or comments to the comment section, and we'll do our best to answer those along the way. And then lastly, always know that the information that is shared is for your informational purposes only. If you're in need of legal or medical advice, please do contact a professional in that area. So our topic today is the magic of music. And we have John Vento. Since the 1980s, John has enjoyed success as a business owner. He is the owner of a CIS Office Installers. And his love for music led him to a second career as a frontman for Neid's hotel band, which in 2016 was voted Pittsburgh's best bar band. And through his performances, John has helped raise more than $250,000 for area charities. His leadership and his generosity and his work ethic are well known throughout the Pittsburgh music scene. And John loves to perform, and he wants to create opportunities for others to share in that experience. Well, John, I'm so glad to have you here and to help us learn more about the magic of music.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit more about your story.
Well, my story as it relates to the magic of music, of course, we all know how wonderful. I mean, look at that opening little ditty that you had. It was a wonderful, uplifting, moving piece to get this thing started. But specifically, I kind of got lucky. I accidentally, together with my partner Ron Esser, we tripped over of the fact that we had folks who were on the autism spectrum get involved with my band.
Wow.
We had them kind of as guest performers. And that really launched the whole thing in the formation of our organization here in Pittsburgh called Band Together Pittsburgh, which focuses on music programs for folks that are on the spectrum.
Oh, wow.
And it just all happened in a true grassroots fashion.
Well, that's where so many good programs and groups come from, right? That grassroots. So that's wonderful. And as a parent of a child on the autism spectrum, as I heard about you, I thought, wow, this is somebody I really want to have on my show, because I know how music has really been powerful for us, in our home. So tell us a little bit about how that got started for you and for your partner.
Well, it's kind of a funny story. My band was booked to perform at a club in Pittsburgh, a well-known blues club called Moondogs. And the owner is Ron Moondog Esser. And it just so happened a few weeks prior to the gig, I had met a young man through family friends who was on the spectrum, and he was a drummer. And he was a good drummer. But his family, he had lessons and he had performed in high school, but he really never played with what we'll call a band.
Okay.
So I invited him and the family out to kind of jam with our band one night, and the kid was really great. And I said, why don't you come to the show Saturday night and sit in on a couple songs? And he did. And it just so happened that the owner of the club, Moondog, Ron Esser, he was there that evening and kind of witnessed this. And after the show, he was asking me all kind of questions and how this happened. And then he revealed that he had a son on the spectrum.
Oh, man. Amazing.
Maybe together we could do something.
Yeah.
So our very first event was what we called an open mic or an open stage, an autism-friendly open mic. So we set a date and a place, and we put all these instruments on the stage. And Crystal, we had no idea what was going to happen.
Wow. Amazing.
We had no research. We had no clinical study. We had no committee. We just picked a place and a time and a date. And we said free pizza and soft drinks, and just if you're on the autism spectrum and you love music, just come and join us.
Oh,
And I remember specifically that day standing there with Moondog, and I said, okay, now what the hell's going to happen? Like, we're about
right.
20 minutes away from go, and people started pouring in, and it was just magic. And we
Oh.
had a drum kit if people wanted to bang on the drums,
Mhm,
and we had
mhm,
guitar amps and guitars and piano. But majority of the folks,
mhm.
they sang to karaoke tracks.
Okay, that's
So they had
fun.
a phone, and we connected with the PA system, and that was our very first event. And now we have those events monthly all over the city of Pittsburgh, autism
Wow.
friendly open mic. And since then, we've expanded in a bunch of other programs that we'll chat about as we go along. I don't want to get off track with you, but that's how it started.
Yeah, no, that's really great. Just really, I think you maybe training or experience, but you had a heart. You had a heart for wanting to provide an opportunity for individuals who don't always probably get that opportunity. And that's all you needed. And look where you
That's
are now.
it's really, it's so funny you say that, because even concerts on last Friday night, we had a national touring act here in Pittsburgh,
Mm,
and my band opened for that act.
okay.
And then I brought up one of our band together Pittsburgh singers who's on the autism spectrum, Joey, to
Uh,
sing a Stevie Wonder song.
all right.
So we're putting our folks front and center
I love
to
it.
say to the world,
Yep.
hey, look, so they're maybe a little different. They're on the spectrum,
Yeah.
but look at this talent and the love and the passion.
Yeah.
And of course, it builds community also in a wonderful way. So many of these kids, many of them don't have friends,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and through these programs, we've kind of created a big extended family of
Mm.
parents, and then the young people themselves have a connection. So there's been so many benefits beyond the music.
That's so great. And that was really going to be one of my next questions for you is how have you seen music benefit and add value to the lives of these youth on the autism spectrum?
Well, the music's the foundation
Mhm.
for everything,
Okay.
but it also creates a social network. And I don't
Mm,
mean Facebook, Instagram, and of course we use all that.
sure.
I mean human interaction.
Good old
It's
fashioned.
so much fun as the months go by, and we see these folks sitting together and talking together.
Mm,
And we have lots of music. We call them musicians or people on the spectrum. They're nonverbal.
mhm.
So this isn't like just, highly skilled musicians that happen to be on the autism spectrum.
Right.
It is a huge range,
Mm,
and they're smiling and they're joyful, and they interact. The social benefits have been, we shouldn't have been surprised, but I have to say that has been the single most beautiful blessing that has occurred uh, from this. To see parents who didn't even know each other 2 years ago, they didn't
mhm.
know where to turn to receive support
Wow.
and to interact. But that's what's occurred through the music for this.
That's so great. And so community, really building that community,
Yep.
for the individuals, for the teens, for the young adults, but then also for the parents. That's a nice a
With
bonus.
the parents have become close and friendly. They can share stories with each other.
Mhm, mhm.
We're having our annual picnic this Saturday here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, very fun.
And oh yeah, and we've invited all kinds of musicians and a lot of other folks, because our picnic will also be an autism friendly open mic, because we
Oh,
want the world to see
yeah.
how beautiful this is.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's so great. That's so great. And I love that because it is, and I always say this, I worked for many, many years in public schools and I did a program and I was like the lead of that program in high school where neurotypical teens would get together with our kiddos who had unique needs and they would have lunch together, they would hang out
Yeah.
together. And I would always say, it was so amazing to hear afterward at the end of every year how much the neurotypical kiddos would say, I get so much out of this.
Yep.
I love this. This is more for me than it is, for my friend. Like I really enjoy this. There's so much benefit that can be added to the lives of people who are neurotypical by engaging in a program like yours, not just,
No question.
the other side.
That's what we say. Those of us that are involved with the organization and volunteer and so on, we are the ones that are blessed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. People say to me, look what you're doing for them. And no.
Yeah.
It's what they do for us.
Yeah.
The beautiful spirit that they share and all the love. And it is truly, and I mean this sincerely, it is a blessing to be involved with this organization and these young people. And I say young, but we had a performer 2 months ago. She was in her 60s, a piano player.
Oh man.
She just went up and she played and she was beautiful. But I would say that, our age range is the majority of folks are from 5-6 years old up to 20, 25 years old.
Okay.
The majority.
That's nice. That's a nice spread there. That's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
And parents, if you're just joining us, welcome again to another episode of Thriving Special Families, where today we're discussing the magic of music and how it can be such a positive impact in the lives of children and families who have unique needs, and specifically autism is what we're talking about today. And always know that our show is sponsored by Sanford Autism Consulting, where you can receive help for your IEP journey. If you need resources, check us out at SD, like San Diego, autismhelp.com/resources. So again, John, as we're talking about the magic of music, why do you think music is so powerful in the lives of autistic individuals and their families?
Well, I'm going to throw that back at you. It's probably powerful in your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's powerful in most of our lives. They talk about the soundtracks of our lives, so there's two parts to this. One is the listening aspect. Music is beautiful, and it's a connectivity, and it's even probably more special for folks that are on the spectrum because it's a sensory kind of connection.
Yeah.
Even though, of course, in a live situation, we have to be careful with volume for certain folks.
Right.
But our programs at Band Together Pittsburgh are performance-based. So they're participatory. So you get both. You get, right, you get the in and you get the out. So, and it's so funny, Crystal, I can't tell you how many times a family will bring their young person and they'll say to me, no, my son is not going to go up there and he's not going to sing and he's not going to dance. And I'm like, that's fine. Just hang out and have fun. Within minutes, he's pulling on my shirt. When is it my turn?
That's amazing. That's
they
beautiful.
all do. They jump up because they have so much courage and they have freedom.
Yes.
And they know they're with their peer groups where there's no judgment.
Yeah.
And we have rules at our events that everybody must be completely silent for the entire performance. And then when that performance is done, you explode with applause and cheering, and you give special recognition to that person. And, if you go to our website, bandtogetherpgh.org, you'll see a ton of photos and some videos, and it'll really give you the perspective of how we do it.
That's great, parents. If you're listening and watching, check that out. Check out their website, because this too could be something, because I know that we're going to talk about later. John is looking to expand. And so maybe if you have interest in seeing something like this happen in your community, John will be happy to help you and discuss that idea with you. But I wanted to kind of jump on what you said about music and sometimes the noise, right, can be an issue. It's so fascinating to me always, because like I said, my daughter's 10 now, but even since she's been little, there are certain noises that will bother her. There's certain environments, and sometimes she'll want to wear headphones or whatever, but not when it comes to live music. She loves live music. I mean, she wants to get as close to the drums, and I'm like, your ears are gonna explode. You're so close. But I think, like you said, it's a sensory thing. She loves feeling the vibration of the sound, and she just loves anytime we're in live music anywhere near it. She's like, we got to go over there. I got to go see it. I got to go hear it. Whatever genre, she's all about live music. So I can just imagine.
When we first started, we went out and purchased noise canceling headphones.
Okay. Yep.
And they're not cheap.
Oh yeah.
We have a whole box at the venue.
Yeah.
We've never pulled them out.
I
We've
bet.
never pulled them out. Maybe once, I recall. And if a person on the spectrum does have a noise issue, the parents are normally prepared for that.
Yes.
So, they'll wear those headphones.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so funny that you just said that,
Yep.
because even Ron, I'll call him Moondog if you don't mind, the
Sure.
co-founder of our organization,
Uh-huh.
his son James, when they go to a ball game and there's fireworks and all that,
Yeah. Oh,
James
yeah.
freaks out.
Yep.
But yet he's at every concert
Yeah. Yeah.
and it doesn't bother him.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's something about that music. I think that connection to, like you said, to the sounds, the sensory, and who doesn't like good music? Just all those things together makes that environment just a really good place for our
Yep.
kids. So that's great.
100%.
So, yeah. So, John, what if there are parents who are saying, "Man, this all sounds great. How can I incorporate music into my child's life?" Do you have any advice for a parent who might be looking to add music?
Yeah. Well, first of all, expose the child to music,
Mm-hmm.
as you've done, whether that be in a live setting or just
Mm-hmm.
music through the home,
Yeah.
or let them listen in on the kind of music that you enjoy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and find out, like, watch them
Yeah.
and find out if they're catching the groove, or if you see that special, like what occurred to me when you were playing your opening,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and you'll know pretty quickly on whether or not that there could be a direction, and then just nurture it. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of musicians and a lot of musical teachers that specialize with
Yes.
folks with intellectual disabilities, or as we say, differently abled people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we call our folks. They're very abled and they're
Yep.
very talented. They're just a little different
Yep.
than so-called societal norms, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we launched a program just recently, which is a scholarship program for families that maybe don't have the resources, but they have a person that's on the autism spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
a child that wants to pursue music. So we will buy instruments, and we will supplement, if not completely purchase, lessons. And the deal
Wow.
is real simple. The instrument is ours. We own it as long as that student is actively attending the musical lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do that for 1 year, the instrument is theirs. They own it.
Oh man, that's
And then we
amazing.
monitor with the teachers.
Yeah.
We monitor the progress, and that has been beautiful. We don't have the funds to really make that thing grow. We're
Mm-hmm.
working on that, but right now we have 4 students. We have a drummer and
Wow.
3 piano players
Oh
that are
man,
getting
that's so
lessons, and we
great.
might be adding a saxophone player pretty soon.
All right, man, you're gonna make your own band. There you go.
We do. We do. We get the
Yeah.
kids together all the time, and oh yeah, they perform together for
Oh
sure.
man. That is so great. And that is such an asset. I can just imagine. I mean, like you said, you're starting small, but I mean, these are things that are going to change possibly the trajectory of a life for a child or for a young adult, just by
Yeah.
investing that time, that money into their lives, things that their parents wish they could do and couldn't do. You're going to change lives with that. That's
Yeah,
really
they
amazing.
just didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
We just to confirm what you just said, I'm going to give you a specific. 2.5 years ago, we got a call from a mom whose son had graduated college in music. He's on the spectrum, Asperger's.
Okay.
And she said, I heard about you guys. She said, my son has this musical talent, and he actually graduated college with a degree in music production, but all he does is sit in his bedroom, play video games all day.
Yep.
So I
heard
said,
it.
come on, let's get together. Let's talk about this. That was 2.5 years ago. That young man is not only on the board of directors of our organization, Band Together Pittsburgh, he's now a professional sound tech, mixing sound for touring
Oh,
acts and live gigs.
wow.
He's the head of our DJ program, where he trains other people on the spectrum to become professional DJs. And that word's important because
Yep.
when our people do something in production or in DJ or whatever, we pay them.
Yeah.
We want them to feel a sense of value and know that they're treated as professionals. And also, this young man performs and writes and records his own music. So
Wow.
that's not because of us.
Mhm.
That's because of the opportunity that was presented. He's the one that did it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's such a blessing to our group. And as I mentioned, he's on our board of directors.
Wow, that is just so powerful. And that was going to be another one of my questions. I wanted to hear a story about one of the youth that's been participating. This is amazing. And I love that. Now, I mean, it's recreational. It's so beneficial in so many ways. It builds confidence, like you said, community. But now you're helping people get jobs. I mean, this is
absolutely. We supplement their income.
Yeah.
They do a task.
Sure.
So if they're mixing sound, they receive a fee. If they're helping to unload at a gig, if they're involved with recording, if they're involved with DJing, everybody gets compensated. If they perform at a concert, they get compensated for that.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. And helping them build skills that are, skills that they can use even to do other things as well professionally. So this is amazing. Of course,
we're referring to probably the more higher functioning group.
Sure.
But we have drum circles and other type of musical therapeutical approaches for maybe folks that aren't quite as experienced or functioning in music. So we make sure it's easy to get attached to the stars, right?
True.
We've got to also keep our eye on the folks that music is just as much of an impact. Only it isn't quite as visible.
Yeah. And that's what I love about your program is that you're using music as a way to support a variety of people on this autism spectrum, a variety of differently abled individuals and their families. And so this really sounds like a wonderful program, a one-stop shop for any family impacted by autism. I'd love to share your information with other families. How can parents find out about more of your programs and contact you?
Well, you can go to our website, which is bandtogetherpgh.org. And it's a pretty robust site, has a lot of information on our programs. One I didn't even mention is what we call Spectrum Talent Search, where we create videos of our folks performing, and then we make them into a star. We're just launching this now. As a matter of fact, this week. So the families love that also. But bandtogetherpgh.org, and I know that you've posted my phone number or email in this broadcast. People can feel free to call me. If I don't answer, leave a message. I'll get back to you.
Oh, great. And for those who are engaging with our audio and our podcast, you can reach John Vento at 412-965-3935. You can also email John. He's jvento with a V at CISinstallers.com. And we'll have all that information also on our pages as well. John, any parting words for our families? This has just been a pleasure.
Well, Crystal, first of all, thanks for having me on. I represent, there's a lot of me's at Band Together Pittsburgh. I want to make sure you know that. And my co-founder, Ron Moondog Esser, we have no egos. We do this because of the blessings that we receive and the wonderful things that music can create. So if anyone wants to pursue these things, as long as they have the passion and their heart is in the right place, they can receive the same benefits that we do. And I'm a lucky guy. Our board, our team, we have no paid staff members in our organization.
Wow.
And we're so lucky to have such great people.
Wow, so wonderful. Just people with a heart for kids, a heart for music, putting that all together and impacting lives in Pittsburgh. But families, if you're not located in Pittsburgh and you're saying this jives with you, this sounds like something you might be interested in, definitely reach out to John, because he is, he's looking to expand what he's doing there, across the U.S.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, parents, we're just happy again that you've joined us for another episode of Thriving Special Families, again, sponsored by Sanford Autism Consulting. And always remember, families, that you're going to be okay and your child is going to be okay too. See you next time.